Thank you for joining me. Welcome to Getting Started with Slack for Sales Teams. So for the next little bit, we're going to give you a vision of how Slack can be used for sales teams, and I'll give you 5 tips at the end to get started today. So a little bit about me. I'm Lindsay Barrett. I'm a solution engineer here at Slack, and I've been here for 2 years. Previously came from Salesforce, where I spent 6 years in customer success and solution engineering. So what I do as a solution engineer is I work with our potential clients to try to give them a vision and bring Slack to life to show how it can be used for their specific use cases. It's really fun, and I get exposed to so many different customers. But the reason I'm here today is because I have been in sales for 15 years. Through my personal experience and through being a solution engineer, I have experienced so many customers, and there are some common problems or requests that I hear. A lot of companies are struggling with communication. It's not necessarily just messaging back and forth, but how do they share real information? How do they work cross-functionally? And people are being bogged down by their emails. The sheer number of emails people are receiving and the fact that they can't find information and work cross-functionally is really getting to a lot of these sales organizations. And so today, I want to share with you how Slack can help, because it's been a game changer for myself personally and also for so many other organizations. So for our agenda today, we're going to start off with a couple slides for Slack for sales teams, just why we're here today, the environment that we're dealing with, and how Slack can work for you. Then we'll spend most of our time in a demo where I will show 2 different personas in 3 different parts of a sales process, but really bringing to life the sales cycle within Slack. So day in the life of a sales rep. And then we'll do 5 tips for getting started today. We'll wrap up and have a Q&A. All your questions can be sent to the particular channel, and we will answer them fast. So why are we here today? The success of sales teams is critical for every organization. And so Slack is going to help you be successful, and I'm going to explain why. So in today's world, let's be honest, there's a lot out of our control. So what we're finding is that sales teams, it's just harder for sales folks these days. What we're finding is that traditional outreach is becoming less effective. Buyers aren't necessarily wanting to take meetings with salespeople right now, and sales cycles are getting longer. It's tough out there. But not all companies are experiencing a harsh reality, but they're continuing their success. And how are they doing that? They're controlling what they have control over in this environment. They're optimizing for digital-first connections with their prospects and customers. They're maximizing cross-sell and upsell opportunities by staying close with their current customers. And they're providing more skills to their reps to make the most out of their team. When they have opportunities on the line, they're moving at unprecedented speed, and they're getting these deals done. Because when prevailing trends are working against you, you have to make the most of every opportunity. And for thousands of sales teams across the globe, they're bucking the trends and accelerating their sales success using Slack. So using Slack, how can we make the most out of every opportunity? We see this in 3 different themes. The first one is maximize team effectiveness. Think about when you hire a new sales rep. How is onboarding taken? How could they use channels to onboard quickly? How will Slack boost sales productivity by providing all the right information to your sales reps? And lastly, how do you get your sales reps to work cross-functionally through channels? The second theme is using channels to connect with customers in a new way. And lastly is making your sales team more effective and improving the sales cycle to close deals faster. And now we've come to our demo piece of our time together. So I'm going to show you a day in the life of a sales rep and a VP of sales and how they use Slack to accelerate the sales cycle. We're going to make the most out of every opportunity using Slack. So meet our demo characters. I'll be playing a sales rep for 2 of the vignettes, and then I'll play Kevin as a VP of sales. But essentially, we'll take you through the entire sales cycle from being hired as a new rep to closing deals, and all of these really common use cases for sales reps and what they care about. We'll highlight it in Slack. So I will take on the persona of a sales rep and showcasing how Slack can help maximize team effectiveness. I'll go through some onboarding, working cross-functionally, and doing research on my accounts really quickly. So welcome to Slack. Before we get started in the persona, I do want to level set a bit because I figure that there are some folks on this that may not be as familiar with Slack. So I'm going to go through the UI for a couple minutes and then we'll jump into character. So welcome to Slack. On the left-hand side are all the channels that I belong to. These are channels that I've signed up for, and each channel has a different name. Channels may be a whole new way of working, so go easy on yourself. But channels you can think of as a place to have conversations around a specific topic. And the name of the channel is indicating that topic. So a great analogy is we all used to have meetings in our offices, and we would get a conference room, we'd bring together the right people, the files, the PowerPoint slides, any sort of collateral to have those conversations around that specific topic. You can think of channels as a virtual conference room. You can think of we're having this conversation around these specific topics, and we're bringing together the right people, the right files, the right applications to have a cohesive conversation. And the best part is you have the whole history of the conversation for every time you have those meetings. So the full history and context is in all of these channels. Like some meetings, some are open to everyone and some are open to invite only. So channels behave the same way. The hashtag indicates that it is open to everyone at your organization, and a lock symbol would indicate that it's invite only. Some channels have bolding and some may have the red badge like the Outlook calendar. When there's bolded information, that means there's new information that I have yet to see. And if I have a badge, that would indicate something has happened specifically for me. Someone has mentioned me or called me out, and I need to prioritize accordingly. In the center of the page, we have where we'll have all of our conversations, and we'll see this in just a second. We start all of our messages down below with all of the content or collateral that we want to share with everyone. And then on the right-hand side, we're seeing my profile right now, but this is a flexible pane that you will be able to see. It will change as we go through the demonstration. And at the very top, one of the most important pieces is how to find information within Slack. This is our search bar, and we'll see how this lives and breathes in just a minute. So let's get into character. So I'm Lindsay. I've just been hired as a sales rep within Sonic Shop. It's a company where I've already been given my quota. I've already been given my account list, but it's a huge undertaking as a new rep. I'm just trying to figure out who's who. I'm trying to hit my number, and I'm trying to find out the history on my accounts. What has happened in the past? What am I walking into? And how can I really hit the ground running by picking up where others left off? So it's a lot of work, but Slack surfaces all this information to me to help make it very quick. So as I do as a sales rep, I manage my day through my Outlook calendar. So let's take a look to see what I have on the agenda today and plan accordingly. So it looks like I have a pretty busy schedule today. I have some time in the morning to work on my onboarding material. The quicker I onboard, the faster I can get out in the field and be really armed with the right skills to make me successful. And then later on, most importantly, I have a meeting with my account, a new account, Tupelo. So I need some time to prepare for that meeting so it goes well. So let's jump into my onboarding material first. I'm brought to a channel called Sales New Hires September. This is for all of us new folks that were just hired, and it's a one-stop shop for all things I need to know as a new hire. So all the expectations about what has happened the first couple days, what does our timeline look like, and then all the collateral that is surfaced to me and expected of me to read or maybe present. So this is really helpful because this is a one place to get all of this information, and allows me to onboard quickly. Instead of bouncing around and trying to figure out everything on my own, I've got one place to go. And not to mention, there's a whole host of folks on this channel. So all of us new folks can kind of get together and ask questions along the way and have a safe space to have those collaborations. So let's fast forward a bit. Let's assume that I finished some of my onboarding material. It takes me way less time because I have all of the information right in front of me. And now I need to start preparing for my meeting with Tupelo Systems later on today. So here I'm in an Accounts Tupelo channel. The Accounts Tupelo channel, we actually create accounts channels for all of our biggest accounts. And there are a lot of benefits to having this, but essentially an accounts channel is going to track the whole history of our relationship with Tupelo. Everything that's happened in the past gives all the history and context, and it transcends individuals, data silos, and applications. And even better is that if you'll notice on the right-hand side, I have numerous members. I have customer service, engineering, services, product. I have so many people from across the organization that are all in this channel, and it helps us all stay in the same page. So when something happens, we are all kept up to speed. Imagine doing this with email. It would be impossible. Keeping everyone up to speed if someone changed roles or if someone was hired. Think about my role as a sales rep, coming on board and trying to understand the basics around Tupelo and where we are today. So I have this accounts channel and there's so much great information. So let me take you on a little tour. So as I scroll up, I've got the full history of what has happened with Tupelo. I've got all conversations, all decisions that were made, maybe slide decks that were shared. And if you'll notice, a lot of applications are being piped in. So imagine as a sales rep, I have tons of great applications that are important to me, but not everyone at the organization may have licenses to Gainsight or Demandbase or Salesforce. And so it's really helpful if we're going to have this conversation for everyone at this organization across different teams, we can all come to this one place, and no matter what applications they use, they can have the full history and context around this customer. And if there's something that I feel is really important to everyone to see, I can go ahead and pin that to channel so all eyes are on that. What I noticed during my research is that Demandbase had told me that the customer had taken a look at one of our products on our website called Pricing Engine. And being a new person at this company, I don't know our products very well. And so I need to do some research on Pricing Engine so that for our conversation later today, I can be prepared to have an intelligent conversation and a back and forth with this customer. So let's take it a next step and do some research on Pricing Engine. I go up to my search bar and search for Pricing Engine. This is going to surface the entirety of the information that I have access to within Slack. So that means all the public channels and any private channels that I may be a part of. And this is incredibly powerful because it's surfacing this information so quickly and efficiently. And I have all the files that where Pricing Engine may be mentioned. I also have any files that may have been shared, channels where Pricing Engine may be mentioned. And then ultimately looking at different people or subject matter experts to try to find someone to have a conversation with. And from here, I can go ahead and message Johan. I could invite him to today's call with Tupelo Systems and maybe even have a conference with him to understand how he could help during this conversation. So what we saw as a sales rep just starting off at this organization is onboarding is simple. Keeping a channel, having all my expectations, all of the documents and requirements that are required of me as a new rep, but it allows me to get up to speed quickly. I'm allowed to get out to the field. I'm equipped with all the skills. And when I have this new account list, it's not a huge burden to try to research the account. I have one place to go to understand our entire history with this account. I'm working cross-functionally in one channel with everyone that is going to help bring in this deal. Sales is no longer just a one-person show. Although I own the relationship with Tupelo, it's very much a team sport, and we bring everyone together to try to close these deals. So what we saw from Lindsay, or from myself as a sales rep, is that I was able to onboard faster time to full productivity using that channel with all those expectations. I also had a central place for communication around my accounts channel, and it really gave me that complete view of the account. And simplifying cross-functional collaboration has never been easier with our accounts channel. I got answers or progress deals faster by having this account channel and really getting up to speed and knowing what I'm walking into and how I can hit the ground running. So the next vignette, I'm going to continue down the sales rep route, and I'm going to use Slack to connect to customers in a whole new way. I'm also going to use my mobile device to do some simple tasks, just to show you the ease of using mobile with Slack. I'm going to show how a sales rep can use a mobile device to continue their work, not being limited to their desktop, and really trying to work very quickly and connect with their customers all through the mobile Slack app. So in the bottom left-hand corner, we've got the Slack app. The Slack app has full parity to the desktop version, which is incredible. So I don't need to waste time trying to stay at my desktop, but I can work on the go if necessary. And let's fast forward. We had the meeting with Tupelo Systems. It went really well, but there was some information that we definitely want to share with the team, and it can't wait until I get back to my desk. I've got to go pick up my daughter, and on the way, I need to share some information from our mobile device. So heading over to our Accounts Tupelo channel, to scroll up, it's the exact same look and feel as our desktop version as well. But I've got my Accounts Tupelo channel where I want to share cross-functionally with everyone that's invested in the success of this account. I want to share the update. And the update was all about how Sonic Shop is in the lead. They're looking to buy Sonic Shop, but Tupelo their budget ends at the end of this month. We need to know, everyone on this team needs to know that this is ending at the end of September. And if we don't get this in, we're going to have to wait a whole year to be able to consider them buying our product. So the benefit of sharing this information where everyone can see is that people, not just from sales, can see this information and be armed to help me close this deal. The entire organization is behind me to try to bring this deal in. But as we know, I work in sales, so I use CRM tools. So I can go ahead and take that message I've shared in the account channel, and with a few clicks, I can add it to my CRM. I'm using Salesforce in this example to post this information back to our system of record. And with a few clicks, that's been added to Salesforce. So we see some apps that are piping in information to accounts channels, but we also can send information right back out to Salesforce. Very impactful because I never had to leave Slack. So now that we've shared that information, after our conversation with Tupelo, our main contact, Andy, had asked for the slide deck that we had used. So I'm going to go ahead and share that with him here. So we're jumping into a channel, External Tupelo Systems. This is a channel between my company and Tupelo to support our entire relationship. From pre-sales and beyond, this is a unique communication tool we can use to discuss all important topics in real time. We have found that establishing a channel with our customers during the sales cycle improves engagement and accelerates deals. So sharing this channel, I can go ahead and share the deck that we had displayed earlier during our call. And with a few clicks, I'm able to add any files within my Outlook, my OneDrive rather. And going ahead and sharing that in our shared channel. With his response, we see that he loved getting the deck, but also that they're requiring a feature. This feature is being required because they need to be able to export all the data. And right now we don't have this available to them. And unfortunately, they can't buy our product without this feature. So this is really important. As a sales rep, I get so much insight from from my interactions with account teams, with customers. And I understand that we may not have every feature in the book, but our product team leans heavily on us to get some insight from our accounts. So when I have information like this, I know that this deal is riding on a certain feature. I want to be able to share this with my product team. So right from within Slack, I have a form that our product teams have created. It's for product requests. So my deal is riding on a certain product request, and I can add in any information that's important to send to the product teams to get a response. Maybe they're working on something, maybe it's already rolled out, but I definitely need to know certain information and I need to request this. The product team receives a response that is very much, the product team receives a response that is customized, it's standardized, and it's complete. So they're able to prioritize these requests accordingly, and it's very quick for me to send this request to product teams. Before Slack, it's very difficult to find out who's who and how do I get in touch with the product teams. So upon submitting that request, it takes me to a channel, product request channel, where my request goes in there along with all the other requests from any other sales reps or anyone within the organization. And what I can see is that I got some eyes on it saying product team has looked at this request, and I even have a response from Vanessa. She says, you know what, we're almost complete and it'll be rolled out at the end of the week. This is incredible news, and I want to be able to share this back with my customer. And the best part is that I can do that right from within Slack. I don't have to leave or copy and paste. But instead, by highlighting that message, I can go ahead and share this with Accounts Tupelo through our channel that allows us to connect with one another. And I can go ahead and share this back with our customer at Andy, or our contact, Andy Walker at Tupelo Systems. So with that, as a sales rep, I came in, I had to work on the go and share some information with the account team. I was able to share that on the go, and then also sharing a deck within our channel shared with Tupelo allows us to communicate in real time, allows these deals to move a lot faster, and the engagement from our customers is heightened. So this is a great way to share information, but also the customer trusts us. They give us some information, we take action on it. I communicate with our product team and get responses directly to him. So to summarize what we saw from my character as a sales rep on the mobile device is I was able to engage my customers in real time using that external channel. It causes shorter deal cycles. It's really a real life back and forth conversation with our customers, sharing information. Building trust with key accounts by sharing what we're hearing out in the field with our product teams is critical for our business. We got to stay innovative. We got to stay on top of what our customers need, and our product teams need to hear from the sales reps. So to make it easy and to have a form that allows sales reps to provide any and all information that they need, and the product team also has all the information they need to make any changes. And lastly, to respond quickly to customers' needs. The customer came to us with a question or a request rather, and we were able to share that message from the product team back to him. So increased lifetime account value just means that our customer is most likely going to buy our product and to stay with us because we're really working on the same team, essentially. We're sharing a channel and communicating back and forth in real time. So for the last vignette, we're going to touch on Kevin, VP of Sales. He is Lindsay's manager, and we're going to see how he helps the approval process and also how he works through Slack in very simply and helping Lindsay and team close deals faster. So welcome back to Slack on desktop. I am Kevin, VP of Sales, and my whole job is I am enabled to try to help our sales team be most successful. I want everyone to bring in their best numbers, and I need to report accurate numbers to our executives. I get involved with accounts pretty often, especially around discounting or approvals. But today, I want you to see exactly what my experience is within Slack. And as you can see, it's a little bit different from Lindsay's. I may have different colors or themes, and I definitely have different channels that are important to me. So I may have some additional ones or more ones that are specific to my role, but essentially I can curate which channels are important to me from my Slack experience. So I've been pulled in to a channel called Deal Room Tupelo. This is essentially, this is a channel that allows everyone to come together from legal, from sales ops. It's a war room-like setting to bring everyone together to close deals. As we scroll up, we'll see some documents like MSA documents or pricing documents, and we're really trying to pull all of the correct folks to get this deal done. So for a lot of folks that have been in sales for a while, sometimes the last 10 yards are the hardest. It takes a lot of time, coordination across different teams to pull something together. And so to have a channel, a central place to pull everyone together in a private setting allows us to have these conversations, share different documentation, and essentially just work a lot faster. So something that happens frequently as a VP of sales is I get pulled into a lot of approvals on pricing. So Lindsay has given a high percentage price, discount to this customer, and she's brought me in as part of the approval process. I have a bot to help simplify this system, our approval process, because it can sometimes take a lot of time and coordination across different teams. So I've got the approval bot that gives me all the basic information, whether I need to click into Salesforce and get some more details, or whether I need all of this information for the proposed structure. I have all the necessary information in front of me. And with that, I go ahead and approve this pricing. What I look at is that my responses are all captured in thread with this approval bot and all the subsequent approvals that we have. And this is a one-stop shop that everyone is being brought together in this deal room, and it's being organized for this approval process. A huge time saver to try to get this deal done a lot quicker than when we were using email. It also prompted DocuSign to pull together all of the documents and really the whole package to send to our customer. So we call that an envelope. And so DocuSign has pulled together all of these documents to create this envelope. And from here, I mentioned Lindsay to go ahead and send that envelope to the customer. So she can send that document, and then we just hope for the best. We wait for our responses from the customer. And like that, we hear that Andy Walker from Tupelo Systems has signed the envelope. This is great news, and we can go ahead and celebrate. So now that we have closed that deal, we can go ahead and jump into a channel called Winning as a Team. Winning as a team is really a fun way that our entire sales organization gets to share all of their wins from all their sales cycles. So Lindsay brought in Tupelo Systems. It's super exciting. And she can share with everyone what worked and what didn't work. But the benefit of this is that she's sharing all of her best practices with the entire organization. She's able to share what worked, what didn't work, and the entire organization can come together and learn from that. They can apply that to any of their deals that they're currently working. And as an entire sales organization, we're moving in the right direction and benefiting from each other's successes. And if you'll notice in her post that there are a whole bunch of folks from across the organization that helped bring in this opportunity. And I've said this a couple different times, but it really is the entire company is coming together to try to pull in these deals. And whether you're working in Slack or in email, but you have to work cross-functionally. And so by having central places for everyone to collaborate together in one place allows these deals to close a lot faster. So to summarize with closing deals faster, we were able to unlock team selling. We came together in the accounts channel to really close this deal. We shared information and able to move forward into actually approvals and putting the right packet together for the customer. Less switching and seeking, more selling. So again, for me as a VP of sales, I could use those account channels to get up to speed. I don't have to ask the sales rep what's going on with each account, but when I need to get involved with different accounts, I can go ahead and research all of that information because all of it is within these accounts channels. And all of it is accelerated execution by having all that information in front of me. And lastly, speeding up approvals. So we saw in that approvals channel that faster decision making was happening. I was able to approve with all the information in front of me right from within Slack and getting prompted to send a DocuSign document to the customer. So we showed a day in the life of a sales team. We started off with Lindsay as a sales rep, really starting off brand new rep at a company, trying to research her accounts, trying to understand, where can she pick up where others left off. And then Kevin comes in at the very end of this deal. It's coming down to the wire on approving processes or approving prices. And Kevin comes in and helps approve, and we send off the paperwork. We all work in unison, we work cross-functionally, and it has to happen fast. So my favorite part of today's time together is our 5 simple next steps, what you can do today to get started. Before we jump in, I know after seeing a demo, you may have lots of thoughts. There may be some areas where you would love to take advantage of and like to incorporate into your sales cycle and your sales team. But there may be portions that were a bit too much for you. There is something for everyone, and I think that these next steps will help you accomplish all that you're looking to achieve with Slack. So step 1, sounds obvious, but download Slack if you haven't already. So go to slack.com, go ahead and download it, create your name, but don't forget about the mobile version. There is complete parity, and it can be used on Android or iPhone devices, but it's a great way to have that consistency between your desktop and your mobile device and have the flexibility to work on the go as well. Step 2 would be invite your team. So obviously the folks that you work with most frequently, so your boss, your other sales reps, anything like that, but invite the members that you work with frequently. And don't forget about all of those folks cross-functionally. If you're working with product teams, if you're working with legal, invite them in, because to have these centralized communications around account channels might be really beneficial for your business. Step 3 is create channels. So we highlighted some channels in the demonstration, mainly the accounts channel, but I feel very passionately that for sales reps, account channels having one central place to have all of the communication and being able to share it with your entire organization is very powerful and a huge time saver for a lot of sales reps. Also think about maybe Teams channels. So if you're collaborating as a team, it would be nice to have one central place. Any sort of announcements channels, if that's being shared within your team. Competitive. Every organization is going to have a competitor. So having competitive intel channels is critical for sales reps, especially new folks, to get up to speed as to what's our stance and what kind of collateral can I share with my customers. Sales wins is a great way to share best practices. And then obviously new hires for onboarding is going to speed up that onboarding process so that your reps are going to be out in the field a lot faster. Step 4 would be integrate your tools. So on this slide, I'm showing you all the tools that are very common to sales teams. And I showed you a bunch of different applications that were integrated into Slack during the demonstration. Don't be overwhelmed. Integrations are as easy as your phone. Bringing in apps on your phone is as easy as going to slack.apps.com and being able to look at the different apps that you're currently using. There probably are a lot of apps that are already pre-built on our website to bring into Slack. This is going to simplify the back and forth and the context switching. So instead of having to go into these applications every time you need something, you could maybe pull that information into Slack. There's something for everyone. So it starts with our Slack app directory, but there's also, for people that are more advanced, there are ways to build your own apps as well. And we're happy to discuss with you. Step 5 is a little bit more forward thinking, but we shared it during the demonstration, and it really has been a game changer for all of our communication and accelerating deals with our customers. So we call this Slack Connect, and it's a way to build those channels between you and external companies. So because we're talking to salespeople today, this is more important for your accounts that you're dealing with. And building shared channels, being able to talk to them in these channels accelerates these deals, builds on that collaboration. And our customers have never been more engaged in the sales process as when we create these channels. So think about that as something that might be great for your business. Keep in mind that this is the only step out of my 5 steps that would be something that you have to buy Slack. Step 1 through 4 are out of the box. You can take advantage of today. So this may be future thinking on something that Slack can provide for your business. So thank you so much for spending the time with me. I hope you gained a vision of how Slack can be used for your sales team. And I look forward to your questions in channel. We will be happy to give you answers as soon as possible. Thanks so much.